Guess what? If you're someone that's carrying around a tremendous amount of guilt and shame from past mistakes, then I need you to hear this. You have the power and the ability within you to set yourself free from all of those things, from the feelings and the guilt and the shame of your past. Well, how do you do that? That's what I'm here to share with you, is how I have set myself free from all the past mistakes. And I probably, if I was to chalk up my mistakes up against anybody else's, oh man, I'm probably the biggest loser, which is the winner of doing bad things and sitting around, right, licking my wounds, feeling bad, feeling down, self-loathing. And guess what? It took me hitting a rock bottom 13 years ago. It took me having the power and the courage to get sober, having the power and the courage to ask for help, and to open myself to trying many new things. Because why? Because I wanted results. And if you're somebody that is carrying around guilt and shame that is holding you back in life, that has kept you in a place of just, it's like a broken record, but it's not. It's actually a spiral going down versus a spiral going up. And the thing that I've learned along my healing journey, that true healing, it's not one-dimensional, right? I've had spiritual experiences that were solely spiritual. Well, guess what? They were solely spiritual. And it didn't heal the mental and the emotional part of me, and definitely the physical. I've had other experiences where I went on just like a health kick and I got all physically in shape. But guess what? I was still lacking spiritually. I was still disconnected from my emotional state of being. I was still disconnected from having a positive mental attitude. And so what I have figured out along this 13 years of sobriety, this 13 years of saying yes to life and no to the things that have held me back, no to the negative thinking, no to the guilt and shame of the past. It's in the past. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying that you can just forget about it. That's usually the magic tricks. They say, you know what? You're carrying around all this burden. You're carrying around all this grief and this guilt and this shame, right? Say this, do that, and guess what? Voila, magic trick. And it's like, it didn't work. I tried that. And yet still to this day, along this 13 years, I can tell that every single day, 1% better, every single day waking up sober with intention, I get a little better. I release a little more of the residue from my past guilt and my shame. I can face myself. And when I say face myself, I mean I can face everything that has happened to me and through me throughout 46 years of life this time around. And I can not beat myself up. That doesn't mean that things that have happened don't still trigger some pain in me, but that's an opportunity for me in that moment to work on clearing more of that pain, processing more of that pain, using real tools that help me to reprogram myself. And I would love to be able to help you do this very same thing. Are you ready? Do you want to do this? Or do you think that you're just going to wait for another day, another week, another month, another year to go by to where something more magical shows up, promises you everything, and then it doesn't do anything? It doesn't truly get to the root of your pain, your suffering, your anger, your frustrations, right? I truly do believe that those methodologies, those false hopes are falling by the wayside. And what we truly need to be willing to do is invest in ourselves, live a life, and it starts with sobriety, asking for help, having the courage, it takes a lot of courage to go back throughout your history and really document. And when I say document, I'm talking with pen and paper, document all of the significant moments throughout your life. The real significant moments that stand out from your earliest childhood. And the crazy thing is that when you actually sit there, right, and you just start writing down a few of the more traumatic events, and it's like chalk up both sides, right? When you do this, if you're willing to actually put in the work, you're always going to get a result from that. And that is the results kill excuses. But you have to be someone that is willing to do the work. If you're not willing to do the work, just keep being distracted. This ain't for you. And I'm okay with that. If you're hearing this message and you're willing to do the work, then get a fucking piece of paper and a pen and seriously start writing down do a 0 to 10, a 10 to 20, and a 20 to whatever your current is. And just write down all the significant events in your life, right? And it's the good and the bad. Your first relationship, your first kiss, the first time you had sex, right? The first time that you had a traumatic event. Maybe it was a car crash. Maybe it was being sexually assaulted. Maybe it was, the first time you got in a fight, the first time you got suspended from school, the first time you saw yourself losing control and acting in a way that left you feeling guilt and shame. Right? The first time that you were put down, significant events, right? The first home run you ever hit, the first time you felt like a winner, the first time you had your heart broken, right? And then you do that throughout your life. And if you're not willing to do that, then really it's like, okay, then just keep doing what you're doing. Because I'm here to inspire change in people. Real change, real healing. And real healing is a spiritual journey, and it's a process. And you don't get to just sweep everything under the rug or just act as like abracadabra, magic trick. You're healed, you're saved, you've been redeemed. And it's like, nah, man, as humans, in the biological part of our body, we carry our trauma. We carry the emotional wounds that we have encountered throughout our life. Thus, another part of this healing is reprogramming, and there's no magic trick to that. That is why it's locking in every single day. Because here's the other thing, is there are literal triggers. And we have to be able to accept this. Like, this is a huge thing. This was a major breakthrough, is understanding that the triggers that would trigger me feeling guilty, trigger me feeling ashamed. We all have these things. Maybe for you, you get triggered feeling unsafe. Maybe you get triggered feeling unloved. Maybe you get triggered feeling unworthy. Right? It's just a phrase, however you want to say it. But it's basically, if you're going about life, everything's fine. It's just a wonderful day, or it's a pretty decent day. And the next thing you know, something happens. A thought, a situation, and next thing you know, you're like fucking just a mess. Mentally and emotionally, spiritually, physically, you're just a mess. And you're like, you don't even take the time to understand yourself to say, where did that come from? And yet, I'm telling, that's the subconscious programs. And here's the thing. Until you fully understand this, and it's like you almost have to go through a whole year, because there are subconscious triggers that happen, that what it does is it triggers a negative emotional response. And this is subconscious. So do you understand the difference between your conscience and your subconscious? Subconscious is autopilot. And most of us are living like 80 to 90% subconscious. You're not even present. You're not even awake. You don't even understand what's really going on, because you have such a hard time sitting with yourself, being with yourself. Total silence right now. Listen. Just to be silent. To really check in with your body. How are you feeling? What's going on? And that's a part of that reprogramming, is truly understanding yourself, falling so in love with yourself, which seems like negative too, right? We've created all that narcissist and egomaniac and all this bullshit. And it's like, no, genuinely treating yourself like you're someone that you fucking love, that you care about, that you would die for, right? Is there anybody that you would literally take a bullet for, right? Is there anybody that like you care about that person so much that you would literally sacrifice your life given a certain circumstance for? That's how you need to be treating yourself. And that's not selfish. That's not narcissistic. That's literally becoming so magnetic and focused on healing yourself, caring for yourself. And as you do that, you will start to care for other people around you from such a pure and unconditional place. It won't be, right, as like, you know, to give, to receive, right? You give love so you can receive love. It's just like you are love. And everything you give, whether it comes back to you or not, you just keep giving because you're tapped into something so much greater than yourself. But again, to be able to release the guilt and the shame, you have to have the courage to face yourself. Do that history. Do your history. Write your history down. And then when you do, part 2 of this lesson is writing down your history. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 beyond. Write down all the significant events. When did you get divorced? When did you go bankrupt? When did you get fired? Whatever these things are, maybe they're good things. When did you accomplish a degree? Right? When did you make your first million? When did you buy your first house? Whatever it's been, good and bad. And then what you do, part 2, is you go through that list and you figure out which of those situations still stimulates pain inside your mind, inside your heart, inside your soul. And then those are the areas to highlight, to really focus on working on some clearing and giving yourself new definitions, releasing, surrendering, accepting the fact that that's happened, doing the forgiveness rituals. These are the things I talk about often. And if you're somebody that's really wanting to get past some of your limiting beliefs and really start to heal completely, totally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, but you're not quite sure how to get this done, reach out to me. Greg@resultskillexcuses.com. Right. I would love to meet with you. I can tell you that in one session that I won't charge you anything for, you're going to get some insights as to what, it's more of a snapshot as to what it would be like to work with me for an extended period of time. We're talking 3 months or 6 months. Those are the programs I do when it comes to the one-on-one coaching. And so if you're ready to invest in yourself, and you're ready to truly make this year the year of the snake, the year that you shed that old skin, that you truly step into the best version of yourself, but knowing that the work is continuous and it's for the rest of your life, little by little, no magic tricks. Because every season, every day is something new, a new opportunity. A new opportunity to love yourself a little more, a new opportunity to surrender, a new opportunity to release negative beliefs about yourself, negative thoughts, negative situations, a new opportunity for you to forgive someone a little more. There's no fell swoop. Usually forgiveness, you keep purging and going through and sifting through that forgiveness of people that have caused you harm. I wish it was just something like, I wish it was abracadabra. It's not. It takes relentless commitment and the pursuit. And I'm telling you, you're worth it. You're worth every single second of this healing journey, which is really a spiritual awakening. If you're connecting with this message, it's because the piece that you're missing is that spiritual aspect of your true self, right? We get so caught up in the physical, right? The body, the money, the relationships, and it's like, man, the spiritual the spiritual piece of it, your true soul. It transcends all the pain and suffering, and it fills you with love, joy, and peace. I hope that now is the time for you to take action. If you're looking for self-accountability, click on that link below. Get yourself a 1% Better everyday journal to really start showing yourself that you have it in you to be committed, consistent, to take action every single day, learning about yourself. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.